I'm Ashley Santos with West Monroe Partners. This is my friend Helper Connor today, and we are going to read the book Purple, Green, and Yellow. And it is written by Robert Munsch and Helene Desputeaux. It's a favorite, right, Connor? Bridget went to her mother and said, "I need some coloring markers. All of my friends have coloring markers. They draw wonderful pictures. Mommy, I need some coloring markers." "Oh no," said her mother. "I've heard about those coloring markers. Kids draw on walls, they draw on floor, they draw on themselves. You can't have any coloring markers." "Well," said Bridget, "there are these new coloring markers. They wash off just with water. I can't get into any trouble with coloring markers that wash off. Get me some of those." "Well," said her mother, "all right." So her mother went out and got Bridget 500 washable coloring markers. Bridget went up to her room and drew wonderful pictures. She drew lemons that were yellower than lemons. She drew roses that were redder than roses, and oranges that were oranger than oranges. Her mother was amazed. She said, "Wow, my kid is an artist." But after a week, Bridget got bored. She went to her mother and said, "Mom, did I draw on the wall?" "No," said her mother. "Did I draw on the floor?"
No.
"No," said her mother. "Did I draw on myself?"
No.
"No," said her mother. "Well," said Bridget, "I didn't get into any trouble at all, and I need some new coloring markers. All my friends have them. Mommy, there are coloring markers that smell. They have one that smells like roses and lemons and oranges, and even ones that smell like cow plops."
It's poop.
"Mom, they have coloring markers that smell like anything you want. Mom, I need those coloring markers." Her mother went out and got 500 coloring markers that smelled. Then Bridget went upstairs and she drew pictures. She drew lemons that smelled like lemons, roses that smelled like roses, and oranges that smelled like oranges, and cow plops that smelled like cow plops. Her mother said, "Wow, my kid is an artist." But after a week, Bridget got bored. She said, "Mom, did I draw on the floor?"
No.
"Did I draw on the walls?"
No.
"Did I draw on myself?"
No.
said her mother. "Well," said Bridget, "I need some new coloring markers. All my friends have them. They are super indelible, never come off till you're dead, and maybe even later coloring markers. Mom, I need them." So her mother went out and got her 500 super indelible, never come off till you're dead, and maybe even later coloring markers. Bridget took them and drew pictures for 3 weeks. She drew lemons that looked better than lemons. She drew roses and oranges that looked better than oranges and roses, and sunsets that looked better than sunsets. Then she got bored. She said, "I'm tired of drawing on paper, but I'm not going to draw on the walls, I'm not going to draw on the floor, and I'm not going to draw on myself. But everybody knows it's okay to color on your fingernails. Even my mother colors her fingernails." So Bridget took a purple, super indelible, never come off till you're dead, and maybe even later coloring marker, and colored her thumbnail bright purple. And that was so pretty, she colored all her nails. Fingernails purple, black, and yellow. And that was so pretty, she colored her hands yellow, green, and red.
Uh-oh.
And that was so pretty, she colored her face purple, yellow, and blue. And that was so pretty, she colored her belly button blue. And that was so pretty, she colored herself all sorts of colors, almost entirely all over. Then Bridget looked in the mirror. She said, "What have I done? My mother is going to kill me." So she ran in the bathroom and washed her hands for an hour. Nothing came off. Her hands, they looked like mixed up rainbows. Then she had a wonderful idea. She reached down to the bottom of the coloring markers and got a special colored markers. It was the same color she was. She colored herself all over until she was regular color again. In fact, she looked even better than before. Almost too good to be true. She went downstairs and her mother said, "Why, Bridget, you're looking amazing today." "Right," said Bridget. Then her mother said, "It's time to wash your hands for dinner." But Bridget was afraid that the special color would not stick to the colors underneath. So she said, "I already washed my hands." But her mother smelled her hands and said, "Aha, no soap." So Bridget took to the bathroom and washed her hands and face. All the special color came off and Bridget looked like mixed up rainbows. "Oh no," her mother said. "Did you color your hands off with the coloring markers that wash off?"
No.
No. Bridget, did you color your hands with the coloring markers that smell?
No.
Did you use the super indelible never come off till you're dead and maybe even later coloring markers?
Yes.
Yikes, said her mother. She called the doctor and said, "Help, help, my daughter has colored herself with super indelible never come off till you're dead, maybe even later coloring markers." "Oh dear," said the doctor. "Sometimes they never come off." The doctor came over and gave Bridget a large orange pill. She said, "Take this pill, wait 5 minutes, and then take a bath." So Bridget took the pill, waited 5 minutes, and jumped into the bathtub. Her mother stood outside the door and kept saying, "Is it working? Is it working?" "Yes," said Bridget, "everything is coming off." And Bridget was right. Everything had come off. When Bridget walked out of the bathroom, she was invisible.
Dun, dun,
"Oh
dun.
no," yelled her mother. "You can't go to school if you're invisible. You can't go to university if you're invisible. You'll never get a job if you're invisible. Bridget, you've wrecked your life."
Oh my.
"Don't worry," said Bridget. She ran into the room and got the special colored marker and colored herself entirely all over until you couldn't tell the difference. In fact, she looked even better than before. Almost too good to be true. But her mother said, "Bridget, you can't go through school like that. You're just a picture, and everyone will know something is wrong." "No, they won't," said Bridget. "Yes, they will," said her mother. Oops, skipped a page. "No, they won't," said Bridget. "I colored Daddy while he was taking a nap, and you haven't even noticed yet." "Good heavens," yelled her mother. She ran into the living room and looked at Daddy. He looked even better than before.